How to estimate building materials. Now, a smart mentor of mine, when I was finishing my building business and getting into QSing, said the easiest way to estimate materials is storyteller. As you're building, work out your materials. My name's David, I'm from the QS guys, and I love making YouTube videos and teaching people how to estimate better, smarter, and remove all of the jargon out of estimating materials. So what we're going to get into here is how to estimate building materials. I've got an example of some markups of a project that we just submitted this morning for a 9-apartment new build in London. And then I'm going to show you basic BOQ working from a developer, so how we lay those out, and then what we make it work into here, okay? So very, very simply, back to the GenSpark slides. The easiest way to work out your materials, guys, when you're doing demolition, when you're doing labor, when you're doing installs, let's say you're starting to build and stand frames. Mark out frame lines. Cool. How many linear meters of bottom plate do we have? That's how we're going to work out our framing. Now, for a standard 2.4 stud height, if we're working out, say, 50 to 60 linear meters of bottom plate area, times that by 10, that gives you all your studs at 400 millimeters and gives you all your nogs at whatever that is, 850 mil high and 1.5 meters high. So as we're going through and storytelling what we're doing for the job, as we storytell labor, we add materials in as we go, okay? So it's not a spreadsheet, it's not a textbook, it's the same loop as a builder runs every single week, element by element off real merchant prices. So as you're going through the framing, work out your timber. Then you're going to go a box of gun nails, and that's the way that you kind of lay it all out, okay? As we can see, if we get into it here, if we go to general frame carpenter, which should be down here somewhere, or let's just go external landscaping. So as we're doing our labor, excavate and prepare patio area, lay hardcore sub base. We've got the sub base there. So when we do labor, we just go and recreate it and put it into the materials there. Super simple. Then we're just referring to the plans for how many square meters of the area it is, 10 by 4, 10 by 5, whatever it is. Work out your rate, find your rate there, put your margin in, 15%, whatever it is, then you've got your total, okay? So as we're going through and pricing this job with labor, whenever you've got a labor component, except for demolition, 9 times out of 10, there's a material component. Installing doors, cool, let's add a door in. How many doors have we got? Put the doors in. Super, super simple stuff, okay? So you want to build up the material list in the same zone but separate it from labor. Whenever you do labor, add a material. Copy and paste in the merchant quote. So this is what's really good here is when you've done your takeoff, right? When the takeoff is done and you've priced your materials, say for example, structural steelwork. Okay, structural steelwork, perfect. So once we've worked out the labor, we've got a PS sum to install all the labor there. You can literally go through, copy and paste all of this, and we've got total kgs, PS sum, linear meters, whatever it is, however you've measured it, and you can copy and paste that and then give that direct to the merchant, okay? So that's the best beauty about having this material take off like this. Super friendly. You can give it to your boys that are on site and they can see, okay, cool. If you were to hide up all of these columns here, and put this on site, sorry, not that one, you want to keep this one out. So if you were to give this to your boys on site and you say, okay boys, here's the scope for this job. This is also beautiful for back costing as well. That's a complete separate video. So you've got all your labor components here and the boys can literally go through and see, okay, cool, for this job, we've got, here's our total amount of labor hours in this job, and this is a fantastic way to use this back costing and also incentivizing your boys, okay? So as we can see, they've got 123 labor hours, and if you've got a foreman, they can go through and then they've got all of these quantities for materials and they can actually use that as a material ordering list, okay? So that's why laying it out like this is a beautiful double whammy. You can incentivize the labor hours and there's a BOQ takeoff for your boys to use as well, okay? So that's if you've got a foreman or a project manager, whatever it is, okay? Labor first, material second. So price people in the program and then match the materials to the labor plan. That's what I kind of mapped out starting, but that's the most like beautiful common sense way to work out your materials, okay? Whenever you're doing something labor, it's like a reaction. Every action has a reaction. Whenever you're doing a labor, there's a material to go with it, except demolition and those other key items, okay? Project management, etc. Well, if you're a project manager, coffee is important, and if you don't drink coffee, I don't know if I trust you guys. It's very important to drink coffee, okay? No wastage column, contingency does the work. What do I mean by this, man? So if I have an idea, right, when I first started QSing, I thought, I don't want too many columns. I don't want to have too many columns. I saw some examples and there's like 8 fucking columns up here and I thought, that's not for me, okay? What I wanted to do, price all the materials at retail rate. So say, for example, a builder might get there for £15 a meter. Okay, we got 18, then a markup. So there's already the margin and the markup, and then there's also another contingency there for waste, overrun, offcuts. There's always issues. Builders make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes all the time. So that's why I do that, okay? So I don't have a wastage column. Contingency does all the work there. And by the time the builder gets a discount on the retail rate, we're well under, and then we're putting markup above. So the builder's cost is here. We've priced it at this. There's a bit of fat here, and then we've also put a markup on as well. So there's a huge jump there, okay? Typically, I'd like to see 20 to 25% there, and that is just an added contingency for the builder, and also good negotiating room if the client is trying to bring him down as well, okay? Price like a builder, compare like a homeowner. Labor first, materials second, guys. Build it up element by element. Copy and paste this for the merchants, so you can send that directly to the merchant, copy and paste that, slap that in an email, or you just hide these columns on the Excel sheet, lock it, send that to your merchant. Hey, can you guys please put a rate against the quantities for materials here? Super easy way, saves them time. They might even bump you to the top of the list if you do all the heavy lifting for them, okay? So, and then retail rate plus contingency. So that's how I've always found pricing materials is super, super simple. Labor first, put on the materials, work through your BOQs. So this is one that we did here. As we can see, this one was for a developer. So we've got external suffites all nicely color coded in here. And then we've backed that up by putting this into this developer's format here. Obviously, it's not exactly where it needs to be, but we've broken out all of his doors here. This was just a BOQ for materials, no labor. And then we've gone through and put the spec of the door, how many of those doors are there. And then we've got total amount of doors, and then we've backed that up with hardware as well. So that's the best way to do your materials. Put your unit rate in there, then you've got your costings. Depends which way you like to work it out, but this video is specifically on how to work out your materials. Storytell it. Whenever there's another one, okay? So hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much.